All right, so we had some issues in this bathroom, space issues, because I put, well, originally it was a space issue. They had the toilet here where it is, and then they had the tub where this thing is, pretty much right here. So you couldn't put even a vanity there. The vanity had to be over here, and it had to be less than, I think, like 24 inches wide only. Any wider than that, you go in the tub. So we changed out the layout, but putting in a 22-inch vanity, 22 inches deep, caused putting a 22-inch vanity deep caused you to have only less than 2 feet here. It was like a foot and 8 inches, which is too small for walking. So you kind of feel cramped walking in. I mean, you had enough space. This is 21 inches out from the wall. The other one was 22. So it was pretty much almost the same, but this is much smaller. So it gives you more space to walk here and around. See what I'm saying? So, and it looks more Victorian for the bathroom and for the house. So we're gonna stick with this instead. And not only that, the granite top we got had a crack in it, a hairline crack. So I'm probably gonna go this downstairs and upstairs, this style. And it just gives you more space to walk. So we like that. If I was gonna keep the other vanity, I'd have to rip this all back out and put the tub way over here, 3 feet into this wall, and make the pantry smaller. So you'd have to have, probably wouldn't have enough room for a freezer in the pantry if you ever wanted to put one. So that's the pros and cons. If you leave it like this, it's nice and cute. Then you can take a shower, take a bath, and look at that. You got plenty of room there. So I think this is the option we're gonna go with. And what also I like is when you walk out, it's a bath. It's a kitchen here, and it does have a doorway, and then a living room. So I like the fact that the bathroom's tucked far away and not so close to the kitchen, because that's just a pet peeve of mine. I don't like bathrooms connected to the kitchen. So it is kind of pushed off away. And this is what I was talking about. If we put the tub 3 feet in here, you'd have a very little space to put. I don't even think a little freezer would fit in here. But if we leave the pantry as is, you could put a huge freezer in here. A real nice big freezer. And you could make this a huge pantry with shelves. Really nice. So that's what we're going to keep it. Alright, here's the, I think this is a dining room. And this is the drop ceiling we took off yesterday, that I took off. And I did this room over here. This is kind of like looks like a formal living room, I guess. And so we're thinking to put sheetrock on the existing height of this one, but to remove this one and keep the height on both of these rooms here. But we'll see what we do. But that's how it looks. And we hate this paneling. This paneling just hideous. All right, back to work on this bathroom here. Next, we're doing the floor. So I just put 2 pieces of thin plywood down. It's got to do this section here, and then we should be all nice and flush. I'm going to be installing laminate flooring in here. Alright, got that all in there. Alright, we're good for flooring now. And the laminate flooring will just sit up on top of that. Alright, so I got some mortar mix here mixed up. We had a gap in the floor. Instead of adding wood, shims and stuff, we're just putting the mortar mix into the hole. And that's gonna fix our rotten wood problem. We put 2x8s underneath this, so it has structure to hold this mortar mix in, which is pretty much, mortar mix is just a sand mixed with cement. Concrete is cement mixed with rocks, aggregate in rocks. So whenever you have a floor that is not level, this is what you most likely will use. Some sand and cement. And you can see I got a level here to get it nice and level with the floor. See that? And I'll put some in this hole here. pull that sheetrock out. It's going to be tight up on it. Show some under here too. There's a little hole here, I'll just shove some in there. I always want to learn the art of doing this type of stuff because Asian people in Asian countries, they do this mortar mix and concrete mix stuff, and they make like really beautiful structures out of this stuff. It's always interesting to me how they can sculpt it by hand. I should have took a picture of it before, but it was a big hole in the ground. Pretty big. I smell the Clorox in the toilet. Bleach. Any other spots? Where? Behind the toilet? Way over there. Reach. Maybe like this little hole here. I was gonna put some wood in there, but like this. Then when we put the pergo, it will sink in there. Where else? Maybe should I just put the rest? I don't have that much. I'll just put the rest in that thing right there.
It's all magic, and you're finally ready to share it with the world. Or just that one friend who's as into Brazilian funk as you are. Download the new YouTube Music app to create and share playlists with anyone you want. The new music streaming app, made by YouTube.
that's it. And then you just let it dry. And you put your laminate, vinyl, whatever you're putting right over that. Once it's dry. Alright, we're mounting this pedestal sink. First thing to do is get the center of your light or whatever the center of your room is or wall. You got it right here. Leveled it off with the level. You get the center up there. And then you get the bubble in the middle. And then it'll tell you exactly where the center is. I trace the pedestal around, all the way around. Put a hole where my mount is, right down there. And now we're making a hole, or not a hole, but we're marking where the hole is in the center. So then let's move this out. That should be good. So when we move it out, we know about roughly where our center pipe will be, right in the center. So right in the center will be our center pipe. Anywhere in the center of that hole. Alright, next thing you gotta do is go down in your basement and see where the rafter is. So I measured 7 inches over from my pipe, and there's a rafter. So then I went and marked it here, 7 inches from the pipe hole. There's a rafter running there. So you just gotta make sure you clear that rafter, which I do, because my hole will be way over here. And you can see what I need. I need the center drain hole, and I need my hot and cold. So my hot and cold will be right up in here next to the main drain hole. And this doesn't give you much room in the pedestal sinks to work with. The hole's only 3.5 inches, but that'll be fine because we're using PEX lines. Alright, so I'm using a 2 1/8 inch drill bit, or a 54 millimeter. Okay, and that's for a 1.5 inch pipe. That just clears it just enough for the pipe to go through. 1.5 inch pipe. You don't believe me, it's 1.5 inch. Let's measure it. One and a half inch. Alright, got my hole drilled. You can see this flooring is pretty thick. It's almost 2 inches thick, 1.75 inches. So you got the subfloor, and then you got several layers of plywood on top of that. Alright, got 2 holes for my hot and cold for the PEX to go through. I'll cut these lines off and I'll run them up in here, and this thing will be ready. So if anybody's wondering, 3/4 is the drill bit I use for this PEX, but this is 1/2 inch PEX. Okay. Hot goes on the left, cold goes on the right. I'll go run my lines up, and that'll be that for that. Alright, got the PEX lines ran. Hopefully they're long enough. I think they will be. And here's a sink, faucet for the sink. Glacier Bay 195-157 brushed nickel. Alright, it's been a couple days. I haven't took a video of the bathroom because my camera was dead. So I got it charged up, and let's have a look. You can see yesterday I got the laminate flooring in. Of course, I left the expansion gap all the way around the border. That'll be filled in with the baseboard and a 1/4 round. Okay, I'm finishing up my sheetrock now because we checked the pipes. We turned the water on. The pipes are all good. They're not leaking. I did have a small leak down here. It's because I didn't put enough sealant adhesive around the plug inside, and we got that fixed up. What else? We got the water on. So I'm just, putting my last pieces of sheetrock. I still can't finish up here in the ceiling because I got water lines for the bathroom upstairs, but I'm gonna have all this finished here and all that. And what else did we do? We got this thing fitted in here, the pedestal. Just got to run a line, a pipe going up, and then put the sink on. I'm ready to install the toilet back in place. I'm gonna get some new bolts and do that after I get all this back here done, the sheetrock. And then also we had the gas turned on and the furnace works, so there is heat in this house, which is, I mean, if the heater was bad, that could cost you, you know, up to 10 grand to get a new heating system. Probably not that much, you know, but depending on who you go with, 5 to 10 grand easy. So that's where we're at. That's the floor. It looks real good. It's a laminate flooring. It's not vinyl, it's laminate, but it was a very good price, so we went with this. And more to come. More videos on this as we get it done. And I went with like a bull nose corner right here. Alright, so I'm applying some plaster to the walls here on the little nail holes and stuff. Had a little chunk fall out there, so I went and filled that. But we started taking the paneling off in this room over here. It's kind of dark. We started removing the panels, and all this 2x4s looks like brand new, like somebody just put it up like a week ago. And check this out. Check what the wall says. It says installed April. Can you be quiet please for a second? Okay. It says installed April 16th, 1970 by Bill and Clifford, whatever their last name is. That's crazy. This is 50-year-old panels. They don't even make panels like this anymore. It's like 10-foot panels. Crazy. I think you can only get 4x8s. So that's pretty crazy. This is a 50-year-old. It's been here 50 years, since 1970. Wow, amazing. All right, just finished up some of the mud work here. And I'm using fiberglass mesh tape, so this is the first coat. You got to do like at least 2 coats, sometimes 3, depending how good you are with the knife. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little bit, you can see, I gotta go over it a couple times. Of course, this is an edge, this is a little bit harder to do. Most people put a little end piece on, like one of these. But that's where I'm at. I'm gonna go take a break and get back to work on this in a little bit. Alright, so here's the kitchen. This ceiling has been taken off. The aluminum or steel, whatever it was removed. And that's how it looks. So all this needs to be, the wall needs to be redone, refinished. And let's check out the bathroom. I'm done for the night. Put a couple coats over the tape in a couple spots. I didn't do all the spots. A couple coats here. So I only did 1 coat up there. I think I did 1 coat here and 1 coat there. So I still gotta do the easy sand one more time. But when I do 2 coats, then I can go to the pre-mixed in a bucket for the last coat, final coat. But yeah, over this type of fiber tape I'm using, I gotta use the stuff with the glue in it. The easy sand, the plaster, the Paris. It's got an adhesive inside, or the glue, a hardener, and that's for whenever you use a fiber tape. And fiber tape, I noticed it's probably a little harder to use than the paper tape, but I just don't like the paper tape. I don't like having to, I just don't like it. I seen my bathroom at my house, and it just, the tape it's peeling off in several places, and you don't get that problem usually with this fiber tape, because you use the stuff with hardener every time, and it's just, to me, it's better. That's where I'm at. I put 1 coat here. It's kind of rough. I need to put probably a couple more, and then I put 2 coats on this side. I'm just feathering it out so it's nice and smooth. But yeah, lots more work to do, but it's getting there. And definitely, if you're going to do drywall, invest in a power drill for mixing, because that will really speed you up. Make sure you clean everything between coats. That's Jacob, and I'm out of here.